Alright, Zach. So, I spent like the past hour writing notes for this, so I don't have to go into this blind, because I know I'd probably want to die if I did, so. Um, no face cam, because face cam no work. So, first thing you should do, you play that when you like get into this matchup, is you see Tristana Thresh, that's a lot of pressure, um, early game, and she's gonna be shoving into you hard, so you should just take Doran's Shield, because, Doran's Shield over Doran's Blade, because pretty much choose Doran's Blade if you know you're gonna be pushed up the entire game, um, because you'll be hitting all the minions a lot, which means a lot more lifesteal, uh, as opposed to just getting pushed in all the time and only having to last hit under tower. You're not really gonna be making that much out of that lifesteal, as opposed to you get Doran's Blade, you get that sustain from the poke that you're gonna have to be dealing with just standing near your minions, so we get poked down by her E passive. So keep that in mind. Pretty much any lane that's like high pressure, that you know you can't shove in against, because I mean Twitch cannot shove very hard. You just need to take Doran's Shield. Don't have much to say. I just took notes. So you see, you can tell right now at this point that Rammus started topside. So you should know. Well, so that means like your immunity to ganks pretty much ends at like 3 minutes instead of it being. This would be like this ends at like 2, and then like you go around, and then he'd be finishing his red at 3 minutes if he started bot side. But since he started top, he'll be finishing his blue at 3 minutes, and that makes you open to be ganked very early, as opposed to most junglers will go bot to top, gank top or mid, or like bot buff, go up to their top buff, gank top or mid, and then you have to be cautious of the enemy jungler. But since he starts top side, pretty much have to be worried from like minute 3 of ganks. So you have about a minute window till you can be aggressive. You should also keep in mind, hold on, when Thresh was, it's not gonna work for me. I'm about to get tilted. Is this Thresh? You can click on him and see that he has Flay, because you'll see above his little like below his icon that he has the little buff. So you know he can't exert that much pressure on you. Like his range is like this much, because a flash engage is not really worth it. So you should be able to walk up pretty close. Keeping your distance is fine here. You can just, this Tristana will naturally shove, but you need to make sure once this wave hits your turret or gets close to your turret, you just keep auto attacking. Like this thing, well, I know you're like auto attacking slightly, but once you like auto attack him once, you're just kind of waiting for him to run low. And that makes it so. So you just didn't hit that one. That makes it so the wave is now like a little bit favored in taking, like it's a little bit lower than their wave, meaning they're gonna hit level 2 first. Level 2 is about a 2,000 gold statistical advantage over the enemy bot lane. It's like 1,000 gold each for every level, I'm pretty sure. Might be half that, and it's like 1,000 for both, but either way. Whoever hits level 2 first is pretty much immune to being engaged on for that period of time. So you just need to keep on auto attacking. Do everything you can to shove in that first wave. Because now they have level 2, and keeping your distance is good because he is Death Sentence now, and he can pressure you from like anywhere. And also this she should have rocket jump, so she can. That Tristana in Thresh level 2 is really dangerous. And if not for your level 2 is not too great, but it's just to make sure you don't have the statistical disadvantage and have the ability disadvantage, like for any period of time. I don't know what he's doing, but I put up here pretty much continue to, if you're trading, if you're doing these soft trades that you know you're not gonna secure any kills on at this point, once your rocket jumps away, even, I mean, exhausting a Tristana level 2 is kind of really dumb because she's gonna rocket jump away. You know you're not gonna kill anyone. You need to double back, even if you're gonna keep chasing. Just kill these creeps, because that's, you know, that's like 60 gold you're just missing out on. That's a fifth of a kill, you know, because you're not gonna kill them regardless, except for, you know, Gragas mid roams down 3 minutes and flash engages. He's got a Dark Seal, but lots of summoners were wasted here. But you know, common theme of this will be just because like a play works doesn't mean it was very good. That play shouldn't have really worked out to the like where you get a kill. I mean, Gragas roaming mid was, you could tell he was doing that, but still just like turning around for a quarter of a second to auto attack the get like a fifth of a kill worth of gold. You know, just CS differential is more important than like any kind of kills could be. CS and experience. So at this point, you know, this is like when Rammus could be anywhere. You'll see that he's actually at his blue because he did like a big clear. He went to golems. But at this point, you have your trinket, go and ward right on top of the blast cone. The blast cone spawns at like anywhere between 215 and 230. So you ward right here. You shoot the blast cone, and any jungler ganking bottom early will be going to the blast cone to check if it's there, because they'll think it's it'll be there, and then they'll walk over it. And I actually, when I watch the demo, you'll see what happens. Oh yeah, he doesn't even go bottom. He goes mid. So you're kind of fortunate. But you place your ward in here, which especially against a Rammus is not going to do much because of how fast he is. Placing it deeper, even like if you're not going to ward blast cone, placing it like right here is good, because you just need to make sure you know where he's coming from before. But honestly, placing it here is not great because he can still use the blast cone, and then it'll actually be around here when you when you find out he's ganking you, and you'll be dead. So you see Rammus mid, he's hanging out, he gets a kill, about half HP. About this, you should honestly just focus Thresh, because this Tristana is gonna jump away, and then she'll jump away and she'll re-engage. I mean, like, just focus on the like focus, especially if your Taric is on top of Thresh and like CCing him. Focus on the Thresh because he doesn't have the luxury of such a big disengage that Tristana does. So, you know, in other lanes, especially against like low mobility like Varus, you should definitely, like against a Varus, you should definitely prioritize the AD carry. But like specifically against a Tristana, Lucian, a Xayah, not really Xayah unless she's level 6, but a high mobility AD carries, you have to just focus on the support. Doing these trades pretty much, like the heavy trades like this. So you see their HP right now, it's very low. You know they're trying to go to base, and you have an HP advantage. Rammus is in base. He just got off of that mid gank, so no, you saw he use like half HP. this is assuming like you're looking at it, but like he was half HP, he's probably not gonna go and gank for his 3rd HP bot laners at half. So you know they're trying to go to base, and you guys want to go to base too. So you should like tell your support, especially on a siege wave, before this like as soon as this wave hits, you should be using your abilities to shove it in as hard as possible. Um, Taric shouldn't use his E to shove it, but because that's like the only way of keeping the Tristana and Thresh from engaging. But this back here, and also you should try really hard to back with your support because it can mess up timings with your engagements. You know, if you get off sync with your support in like whenever you're in lane, you go into base right now means you'll be like playing without him for the next 30-45 seconds. Because he'll have to go back to base as soon as you get back from. He'll have to go to base as soon as you get back to lane. Also, they're so low, and you saw Rammus walked up to river. So then there's so much farm here that you're missing out on. They won this back. Backing such a like an essential part of the laning phase. They pretty much won the recall because they're low HP, but they're still pushing in. Because you just went to base prematurely, and Taric stuck 1v2ing. I think he dies when to lane. So if this huge wave, he's taking a bunch of damage from minions too, but I'm sure you would have died without the minions. But if you just shove this in and then decide to go back together, then this wouldn't have ever happened. So you know, like obviously him dying isn't like a 100% your fault, but it's by extension your fault by not being proactive about back timings. After that, you know they're low HP, and they just got off of that Taric kill, so they're gonna be going to base. See, like they're both going to base. They were very low HP. There's no way they stick around. You need to, you know, cast your W on top of this wave, shove it as hard as possible, and then make sure you place a ward. You know, ward the blast cone. And also, I guess I go back because you see, also while you're pushing this wave, you see Rammus is mid. And then he walks topside. He gets a kill mid, walks topside. You know his reds just respawn because it's 7 minutes pretty much, and that's like about when. Well, actually, the first buff spawns around 6:55 for the second clear if they do the normal clear of buff first. And then you see that it's up, and then you see that this one doesn't have a gray, little gray hourglass over the blue. That should pretty much immediately tell you that he can do red and then gank you right after red. But more importantly, you can shove this hard while they're in base. You know, they're both like sitting in base doing nothing for a while. You can shove this really hard, make her lose 10 creeps of gold, which is like, especially with a siege, it's about 220, I think. About maybe 230 gold that she's missing out on, that, and that's the difference is you get that gold, so you're making a 460 gold difference between the AD carry and experience, because all those creeps would be down to the tower instead of her being close to it. So you kind of like doing this weird half freeze where it just really slow pushes is actually like they're eating this up because they're not gonna miss more than like a single off of this wave, especially with the siege being there. So when you see this, that the red, red spawns around like 7 minutes, and you see that this is gray, like it came up probably like 5 seconds ago that came up gray. There's like about 2 minute difference between the red and the blue spawn times, meaning he could be like going bottom for a gank right now, especially with how shoved in Tristana is. Because if he did normal clear, he would have gone red, wolves, blue, and that would have been about like a 40-second difference in his first clear. Instead of it's like about 2 minutes between when the red died and when the blue died. So he's not gonna sit around waiting for red to for blue to respawn. He's gonna go either, you know, he's waiting for chickens to respawn, I guess. So I got it wrong, but you know, he he's not gonna sit around waiting an entire minute for the blue to respawn. He's gonna try and make a play. Bot lane, most likely bot or mid, and you can see mid lane is like kind of equal. I mean, you got this guy, he's not really showed up. He's about midpoint. You guys are, your wave is actually at their turret. But I think no, Rammus does come. So this is where the blast cone. So I'll back up. This is where like the blast cone ward is really important. So actually, I guess it wouldn't even impact it. Actually no. Whatever. He used it already. This is, oh yeah, I wrote this down, but I forgot why for a second. You can see pretty much every jungler when they go bot, they walk up in this little pathway to check for the blast cone, and when he sees it's not there, he goes through river. So if you ward this and then you break it every time it's up, he's gonna walk over. He's gonna go over your ward and then double back, go through river. And you'll know he's thanking you for about like 15 seconds before it actually happens, and it gets Terra killed. I'm talking about trinkets so much. Also, this is like just a loss of a flash, because so you lose a flash and then your support because of that. Just like small details. I'm talking about trinkets so much because, specifically because, ever since Sightstone got removed, like this Taric would have had Sightstone when he went to base ages ago, but, or did he even go to base yet? I think he did. Yeah, he died. I think when he died, but we're at 9 minutes. When he died, he would have been able to afford Sightstone, if it was still in the game. So, and then you wouldn't even have to worry about warding, honestly. Like, but can't, your support won't have like warding ability for another 3 minutes now. So you need to be sure you're actually making an effort to ward into their jungle and in your lane every time you shove up the lane they go to base. So much here, but I feel like I'm missing stuff, but yeah, this should be substantial. Taric gets back to lane, or you get back to lane with Taric. What's up next? Okay, yeah, you push this wave in. I don't know why Thresh is, I don't know, Thresh is just kind of hanging out, but I don't know what this ward is either. He's actually got his Sightstone thing already, but here Taric engages with his stun, and then Tristana is completely safe for the rest of this trade. She's not going to die. The moment that Taric's stun goes down, Tristana's not going to die. Thresh is probably not going to die. He has his flash, and you should know he has his flash. But he just doubles back as soon as he misses that Destinance, and using your ult, which is like such a huge cooldown on that, is kind of a blunder, because you'll never kill, I don't know why she healed, but you'll never kill him. Especially not Tristana, but you won't kill Thresh even, especially if he uses flash in that situation. So unless, you know, you're actually fully engaging, which is kind of hard with a Twitch, and then a Taric only has one like a mean of engagement, which is his E, which is a stun. Using your ult after that is just like kind of wasting a cooldown. Oh, I'm reading my stuff. Oh yeah, so you're about to get killed up here right now. You'll get hopped on. do believe. At some point soon. Yes. Yes. Just kind of shoving the wave back and forth. Okay, yeah. So, I'll go forward. I missed it. So, Taric has no E. Your main goal should be kiting away, but with the Cosmic Radiance, you should hit R and then heal so you can run away faster, especially now that the Flate's just gone on cooldown. And you're kiting back this entire time, or walking away and hitting Thresh. It'll be also do like collateral damage to the Tristana. And that'll keep you alive. Like, you see how much damage you're doing to Tristana, and just with like 3 auto attacks, she almost died. So if you hit E and would have been attacking her for a little bit longer, even like through the Thresh, then you would have killed Tristana at least. Knowing that she used her, actually she used her W to get on top of you, so she might have escaped, but you would have at least killed Thresh, most definitely, in that engagement, and you wouldn't have died. So that's like the most important part. So right now everyone is playing around mid. So going bottom and pushing this wave is like the best case scenario. Like, you pretty much walk into lane with 600 gold, push 2 waves, get this first turret while they're pressuring mid. The team's kind of just stalling them while they try to get first turret, and you end up getting first turret for yourself. So 2 waves plus the 650 from plus like the passive gold, you're gonna get a triple kill worth of gold right there on like full value enemies. 900 gold from just like making this play. So that was very good. But after that, you shouldn't be returning to bot lane like for the rest of the mid game, I guess, unless it's shoved to your turret. So after this, I would go to base with your 15. You had 15, you got 16 just now because I shut down, but you get like 1500 gold. I know you, because of like how often you died, you have 2 daggers already. And I guess you do build rune ends first, so you should definitely be able to finish rune ends. With about 600 more gold, if you didn't buy the daggers, you would have been able to finish Infinity Edge first, which is, preferable to finishing rune ends first because it's just a bigger power spike. But the main reason people don't do it is because it's so expensive. But you can definitely go back to base the moment you get this tower. Just run back to your turret. Get rune ends. That's a big power spike as well. Not as big as Infinity Edge would be, but they don't need you to help kill this thing. What you should do is go base, buy rune ends, run top. Especially because, I mean, the enemy bot lane is running top, but he should have gotten this turret. You definitely would have gotten this turret if you just went top lane, because you're really not accomplishing anything. I mean, Rift can be soloed about as quickly as it can be duoed, and I think people say if you're like 3-manning it, it's not really accomplishing anything. Yeah, I mean, you should have probably taken the blast cone, but it doesn't really matter. But if he could have barely caught up to you. So here I think, yeah, you kind of push in. Yeah, you just keep pushing because you see them. I mean, like, you see they're kind of hanging out near bot in the south jungle, so you kind of can't really be this far pushed up. Like, you're gonna you do die to the Annie over here, so that's just like, you do that twice I think before you start grouping. That's just a lot of gold to give over, especially because like not every team will take advantage of you pushing. I guess pushing a tier 2, you should just be going top and like hang out with your team. Pushing a tier 2 is like so much risk. Like, it's so risky that you're just gonna probably die every time. And any team that doesn't punish it is like just so bad that you shouldn't be taking like any ideas. You shouldn't be like, oh yeah, well this works, so I'm gonna do it again. Like, just because if you're able to actually push to tier 2 as any carry solo, then the team you're playing against are really dumb. So it's better to learn correctly instead of learning so you can like actually, if you get to teams that will consistently punish you for this, like this team is, you'll be able to play the game correctly. Like that fight should have never happened. Like that could be misinterpreted as I almost killed the Rammus that was 6-1 in bot lane, but that fight should have never happened, honestly. Even if you got the shutdown gold for your team, you should have been top lane, and then this tower would have never fallen. I think you're level 9. Yeah, now you should be buying their blue trinket. The moment you hit level 9, or like the first time you go to base after hitting level 9, you should be buying blue trinket. But that's kind of a addition. Up here, there's a team fight. I was gonna say you can ult through Tibbers, and she would have died in about 3 shots, about like 2 seconds. You just hit E. So you actually died here because you auto-attacked the Rammus, I remember, but because of his Thornmail and his defensive ball curl. But if you just hit R and then shoot through Tibbers and then hit E like twice, or he hit E once, obviously it's down, but you kill her and then she can't flash on top of you to stun you, and then I mean you killed yourself here, but if you wouldn't be low enough HP to actually been able to make that mistake of killing yourself and the Ram's hitting away. And we'll just not look at that. You can't control whatever just happened there, you know. You can't. Your support, you can't really like take control of his keyboard and play for him, or your AP Gragas mid. You know, that's like really out of your control. So you just gotta play. You gotta play for yourself, honestly. Next. Alright, we're getting to the we're already halfway through. Writing the notes took so much longer, but I'm kind of missing. I missed like one or two things, I think. But it gets a lot. Once the laning phase ends, it's so much less hectic because there's so much in the laning. Because laning pretty much determines your game as an AD carry. Like you have a 7-1 Tristana because of that lane. If you just shut her down, it wouldn't have been much of an issue. Here, only criticism was right here. You're in, you know, like your range of auto attacking without your ultimate is the same range as her ultimate, pretty much. That's pretty like basic knowledge. So you get stunned for 15 years, and you know, would have probably died if she wasn't so underfed. And you actually almost died if she would have kept you through the wall here. But it's pretty much what you can gain. Like what you know from that is use your ult before that fight starts, or like, but use your ult. Actually, so I back, but use your ult here. Use your ult here and just start going in on Annie instead of walking up, because she has the potential to kill you. See, she like actually starts to walk up and try and kill you. And she actually casted it, and it didn't go through, and you very nearly died because of that. Alright, next up is in 20 seconds, this team fight here. This is just kind of a reading issue. You should see this fight, and you know that this 3-on-3 with your support, you're barely over a third HP, and everyone on their team is full. You should just be disengaging right now. You end up like going melee mode, you know, like your melee mode Twitch right here, and you get hopped on, and that pretty much opens up for them to get a free Baron, because you know Xin Zhao's gonna die. But if it's a 4v5, then it doesn't make it as guaranteed of a call as if they kill the AD carry, which is the most you do the most damage on the team outside of the jungler, which is not typical, because the jungler normally doesn't do as much damage as Xin Zhao does. But you know, just killing the jungler they probably wouldn't have committed as hard to this Baron take. And even if you just would have gone to base, you would have actually been able to help him with this fight. You're coming out of base right now, and you'd already be in the fight, and that's a guaranteed kill. Could definitely kill this Annie if you were actually like in the thick of it. She takes so much damage. She has no armor. She's got 63 armor. You have no armor pin, but you have crit. It's just whatever. They did get him off Baron, I think. No, actually they're doing Baron. But yeah, so you do this big fight, and you finally get there, and like see, you just do so much damage, regardless of honestly like the early game did not even affect it that much. You just did so much damage. So now you're in a 2v2, and you're very low now because you just took like one shot. Well, the moment you see this scrying orb go off, I would honestly run. Even if it works, you are like so close to dying from. Like, yeah, it's like this Rammus, I'm surprised. Like, you used your heal for that, and then you get jumped on by Tristana, and thankfully your jungler's insane. It's ridiculous how much damage this guy does, especially with his Sterak's. The Sterak's really saved him there, but if it weren't for like that guy just pretty much soloed that Baron. Like, of course you damaged it, but just because it worked out doesn't mean it was, you know, the best call. You could have gone to base and then done a much more highly likely to win team fight, and then go and do Baron afterwards. And then you get like this game wouldn't have lasted another 11 minutes. What's next? What's next? What's next? All right, ulted Urgot. That's the next part. It's kind of far ahead. Here, taking red, honestly, I would take red too. But if I was the jungler, I would say no thank you. Because the jungler is just, because Xin Zhao's just got you guys on his back. Honestly, I would engage on the Annie as she's walking through this choke point. That's an easy kill. She's like just walking around with 1500 HP. But you shouldn't be using, I guess that was kind of a blunder from Taric to flash and then misses E, but you shouldn't really be using your ultimate on bruisers or tanks that are running away, already disengaging, because it's kind of a waste, and you didn't kill him, mainly because Taric misses, but even if he didn't, that's one kill on an Urgot, which is not very, very worth it. And then the moment you see this Annie, you turn back and you start shooting her, because she's just flash ulted on you, and she's kind of disoriented, I guess. You know, like she, you know, there's like a global cooldown, so whenever she casts her ult after flashing on you, then she's like not gonna cast for another like, you know, quarter of a second. You turn around, you shoot her like 3 times, you hit E, she's dead because how much damage she did. Here you get ulted by Tristana. So Tristana and Rammus. Also, yeah, something else, like their jungler and their AD carry were like top side for some reason, and it was a 5v3 fight. You should really only be using your ultimate unless it's to secure that kill like on a high priority target that's singled out that you need high range for, or if the there's a big grouping of people in an actual team fight instead of 4v 5v3. Here you should be orb walking down. Every time you shoot, just walk down. Mainly to close the gap on any potential. She does ult you and get over the wall. It's like that wasn't even the main point of orb walking down. Just shoot, move, shoot, move, because she outranges you so much. You need to make sure if she starts kiting away from you that you'll stay in range of her. So you shoot, move, shoot, move, and you might have killed her, especially with that Taric E coming in. Maybe not. She would have kept on doing damage, but if you actually orb walked, I wouldn't have been thinking about it, but you wouldn't have gotten a good hit over here, and you could run down and then do cleanup if you wanted, or just go to base and you wouldn't have died. But either way, just try and close the gap on people with higher range than you, and especially against Tristana. She has so much higher range than you. She's also at level 14, so she's the higher range than you from like level 2. Next up, what's next? What's next? What's next? There's a big team fight mid, yeah. So pretty much, what happened here is so like you just like kind of walk up to this choke point. Annie's closing in. We gotta look around to see where Annie is, because Annie with her ult, because you don't know if she has ult or not. She probably does. They just assume she has ult, and then she walks up and places it down on you and take big damage. So You kill the Tivers, you come back into fight, you're about a little bit over half HP, and there's you're pretty much front, in the front line. You got your Xin Zhao that's like 2700 HP, or yeah, 2700 HP, and you're at the same level as him on like this plane, so you get hooked by the Thresh. That's a 1.5 stun. It also pulls you toward him. You're not surviving that. They're gonna engage on you, so just be extremely aware of the champions when you're team fighting. If there's a Thresh, then look at the Thresh. If there's just make sure you're not in range of a Q, or a flash flay, because I mean flash Qs are kind of impractical because of the angles and stuff and how the range works. But or like a flash flay, which is about the same range as his Q. If you don't know his flash is on cooldown, then just assume it isn't. And then like a flash Annie ultimate, same principle about flashing, and like not knowing if it's on cooldown or not. So like a flash Annie ult is almost like 1.5 times, a little over 1.5 times the range of just a regular Annie, like Annie's regular range, which is about, it was a 600, which is their attack range, which is actually higher range than you. So that's another reason you shouldn't be engaging on her without ultimate. But then she can actually close the gap on you, and I think probably flash ult you while you're ulting, while you are attacking with your ult. So you should always be cutting back to make sure if she ults, if she flashes, you are like ready to flash away as soon as it happens. Another point, same point for that fight. I'll go back a minute. Actually, well, you don't actually watch the fight. The longer you stay alive during a fight, it's just the more, actually, I don't have to watch it. The longer you stay alive is the more likely you're gonna win it. So even if you're not damaging people all the time, your being alive will make the enemy team have to second guess a hard engage onto the front line, and you can clean up the kills even if you're like medium HP after all the cooldowns get blown. So just prioritize staying alive over getting kills, as long as you don't like go to run and farm the Stone Bros over here while your team starts team fighting, then you're probably gonna have more of an impact than just running in when a fight starts and blowing your load after 5 seconds and then dying. There's like 7 minutes left, but I only have 3 more points to touch on. Am I recording? Yeah, okay, jeez. Oh god. I would have not done this. Listen. Shove side lanes. Alright, so your top tower is like, there's a big wave. This is a huge wave. You see that, you run top, you say that's mine. I know Xin Zhao actually runs and gets it instead, but you're the AD carry, and that's partially why your CS numbers are so low late game, especially. Is because you just kind of sit mid, you're kind of pushed up, and the moment you make contact with someone, you have to run away. Like here, like you got 3 minions as opposed to that was like 15 or something, or 12, maybe 10. But you got 3 as opposed to 10. You can shove this second wave because it's not by the river point yet. So it's like 16 minions as opposed to 3, and you don't have any imminent threat of getting ganked. Especially if you blue trinket in your in the west jungle, you can't get ganked for a while. Or you're not getting flanked on by the enemy team. But yeah, if the enemy team resets while your teammates after like a fight, and your teammates aren't trying to take an objective, shove the side lanes in to the river point. If they've just reset and you're already out, then you can shove it 1 more wave past the river. But just to be safe, just shove to the river point, which is right here and here. Last point of the sesh on a little bit. This is all, I guess I could follow you, but 3102. All right. What happened? Where are you? Where are you? Okay. This already happened, actually. I think you already... Because there was a potential... Yes, this has already happened. You have such little HP. The moment you see Annie, you run away. Taric, you know, actually got jumped away from. So, you know, let Taric die, honestly. When she has 2 charges, she EQW. I know, like, she doesn't have ultimate. You know she doesn't have ultimate for, like, 30 seconds because she just used it in that past fight. But she can EQW. This Tristana actually doesn't have jump because she just used it. But she has her summoners. Annie has her summoners. And then there's a Rammus here too. I know you don't know that, but just like you don't know where anyone is pretty much. You just know that top and support are dead, so you don't know where Rammus is at all. Um, the moment you start, if you start like walking toward her, when you start doing this, the moment you cast your casket, or what? Not casket, cask, yeah, she can flash EQW, stun you up, do half your HP, actually bring you down to about 490 HP. With your magic resist plus her minus her penetration, you have about like 1850 HP. Because she has this like the 18 magic pen from the sword boots, so you have 118% effective HP against magic damage, and you have about 1800 maximum HP. You will probably take get down to like 550 HP, and then this Tristana flashes over, hits E, hits you twice. Happens to get a lucky crit or two. Actually, she has 70% crit right now, so she's be unlucky. No, barely lucky if she gets 2 crits. But you would have died. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Very high chance of dying. I think that's pretty much it. This for the rest of the game, pretty much run it down. Oh yeah, this too. You just like walk straight into this bush. You know they're coming from mid. Like you know this. You see, there's 3 people mid. The only place they're gonna be coming is through this bush or up here, or like through here. So you do not walk over here. Like you don't even walk past this point. I should probably have like a drawing tool, but you do not walk like past this point. And once she jumps away, you don't walk that close, because you know there's people around the corner. You kill her, but you get flashed on by Annie. You get stunned, and then you're all the team's pushing power. So every time you die after like while a fight has just gone on, you are pretty much delaying the ending of the game, because you are like, even if Xin Zhao can push really quick, you are a lot of the team's pushing power just because you're AD carry. Pretty much it. Good. Trying to follow Gil. Follow Gil. There we go. This is like pretty basic. Not basic. This is pretty like not very important. But if you're the only person with damage attacking the Rammus, then just like don't bother, because you're not gonna kill him. Especially whenever they've just reset and people are gonna be coming from the jungle too as he comes out. So you get flanked by the Tristana. It's a double kill. 14 deaths on AP Gragas mid. What a surprise! What a surprise, dude. Also, back to the topic of this bush. If you had blue trinket, you could actually blue trinket it before you walk close, just so you could actually, if there was no one there, then which there would have been like 100%, but you would have known there's no one there if you didn't like think about it beforehand. Just by trinketing this bush rather than just walking up. But you should let your teammates, your tankier teammates, face check it. Like Xin Zhao should have face checked it before you did. Game is over. Alright. This took me so long. It took me 3 hours. Jeez. Oh! Ooh! Kill me.